Lincoln Mitchell. People, the disclaimer's on the board. Pause the video, read the disclaimer. I had to take this sip of water while we get into it. As you can see, the title of this video is The Most Dangerous Trades. So let's get down to business here. There are two most dangerous trades. The first one I'm going to go with is, you hear people say it all the time: sell the high, buy the low. People, if that was so successful, don't you think everybody would do it? That is one of the most dangerous trades, and I'm going to tell you why. Most of y'all don't know what the high is. Yes, the computer might say high here and it might say low there, but is this the 52 weeks low? Is this the days low? Is this the days high, the weeks high, the months high, the 6 months, 7 months? It does not matter. And when you're dealing with something like Forex, especially when you're dealing with Forex that has historical data that go from eons and eons, it's hard to dictate what is the high. So, but let's get back to this one. YM. So let's use this for instance. If you would have sold the high here, you would have got killed. You would have sold the high here, you would have made a little bit. But then what happened? Most time when people sell the high, they would have got killed again and again and again. So be careful with selling the high and buying the low. And the reason why I'm saying that, because it's not as simple as it sounds. Sometimes when people say sell the high, they might look for a high peak point. And I'm not going to get deep into that because I really don't train people. But they might look for a high peak point, or there might be a low peak point. And if you do ever decide to sell the high or buy the low, always put a tight stop loss. I don't do that. I don't trade like that anymore. But it's to each his own. But you must find out what is the highest point. Because sometimes the highest point just might be the highest point of that day and so forth. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the scary part about this one, this is, if I'm mistaken, this is the all-time high. I'm almost certain this one is. No, it ain't. See, that's my whole point. My whole point. As it changes, you're going to get a different high. So the more to the story is, you know what, let me go back to that one. So let's use this one. This is the all-time high. But what just happened? You don't have a target anymore, people. Once you got an all-time high, you really don't have a target, and that is what they call a peak point. Some people call it a peak point. You know what I'm saying? But that, to me, is the second most dangerous trade, because if you look at this, if you would have kept selling the high here, 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 you would have got screwed, man. You would have got screwed, because if you look at this, when this started going down, then it shot up. This one started going down, and it shot up. You would have been getting killed. You probably would have made a little bit of money here, but by the time you got to this level, if you still had any money, you would have been in trouble. That is the first. That is the second one. The most dangerous trade to me, out of all trades to me, is, sorry about that, is by far the bounce trade. The bounce trade to me is by far the most dangerous trade out of every trade. And the reason being, I'm going to show you. When you're a bounce trader, I'm just going to make up lines, people. These are not real lines. I guess I can't help but do it. I can't. Okay, let's use this area here. I want to use this one right here. I want to use this area. A bounce trade is basically you're bouncing off a support or resistance. In this example here, we're going to give you a support bounce. So as the market comes down, it hits this bounce, 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 then it breaks. One bad thing about a bounce trade, when a bounce trade fails, they normally fail very hard. Those are definitely account killers. The bounce trade to me is by far the most dangerous trade to ever do. Because if that thing breaks, you are in trouble. You are in a lot of trouble. I have lost, I can't count how many accounts off of a bounce trade. They are by far the most dangerous trades. Let's slide up here. I just noticed this area here. Let's slide. You see this bounce area here? Now, let's just use this one. See how many times somebody bounced it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If this thing ever fails, man, you are in so much trouble, because a lot of times your bounce is bouncing off a strong support or resistance, people. It bounced off a strong support or resistance. In this one, it's a resistance. Here is the support. But if these bounce trades fail, sometimes when they bounce trade like this one here, when they fail, they really, really fail. They don't fail a little bit. I mean, they fail very hard. That's why they call bouncing, because the support and resistance trying to hold up. Boom. Trying to hold up. And every time it gets hit, it gets weaker. Every time it gets hit, it gets weaker. So you got to be very careful doing a bounce trade, people. A bounce trade is very, very dangerous. They are super dangerous. Those trades, I highly, highly do not recommend them. Because one thing about a bounce trade, when they do fail, most time, if you do grid trading, for those who do grid trading, once a bounce trade fails, it goes toward another grid line. So if this bounce trade fail, bam, it's going to keep going into another support level most of the time. You got to be careful doing that, people. I'm telling you, you will knock out an account very, very badly. Do you understand what I'm saying? Be careful doing those type of trades. Those two trades, buying the low and selling the high. Be careful. I'm telling you, and the most dangerous trade out of all of them is by far, there's no ifs, no ands, no doubt about it, is the bounce trade. You might get away with it from time to time with buying and selling the high and buying the low, but bouncing trade, people, that leave that for the big boys to play. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Leave that for the big boys. You know, but that's it. Lincoln Mitchell. Bye.